One of the questions that I was asked quite a bit when we were out doing our nationwide helicopter tour is how did we record the interviews in the helicopter? We used multiple GoPro cameras. This is one of the rigs that we used, and this one is capable of suctioning cup directly to the glass. The one issue you do have is any part of the glass that's very curved doesn't work very well on, so you need to find a pretty flat surface to be able to mount it to. This arm is fully adjustable, so you can put it in pretty much any position that you want. When I was out flying, a lot of times I would have a camera right down here, aiming back up at me. And then we also had one that was aiming forward, so you can kind of see where we're going. This one specifically also plugs in through USB. It's able to receive power, so if you have onboard USB power in your helicopter, you can plug directly into that. Or in this case, you can plug directly into a USB power brick. You also have the ability to get audio, which is this cable here that plugs directly into a standard helicopter audio jack. You're able to plug directly back into the helicopter. This one also has a pass-through, so if you have a passenger, their headset can plug directly into it. There is another way, which I'll show you. If you do not want to record your audio directly to the GoPro, which is what I'm doing there, there's a second option. I have this cable here that also plugs directly into the same jack in your helicopter. And then on the other end, it provides you an XLR adapter. This you're able to plug into an XLR audio recording deck, and you can record audio that way as well. One of the lessons that we learned using multiple GoPros at once, you're only recording your audio, at least in our case, we were only recording audio into one of the GoPros. The rest of the GoPros throughout the helicopter were all recording ambient helicopter noise. That's fine, you can use that as a background track, and in some of my videos I just kept that very low, so you knew you were still in a helicopter and you're listening to the audio. The issue that we had was in post-production is syncing all of the cameras together. In a smaller helicopter like this 44 that I'm at right now, you're able to easily reach around, turn all the GoPros, and record them all at the same time. When we were in the Bell 206 helicopter, which there's not one of those here at the airport, so I can't really show it. I'll put in some footage from our previous trip. If you're in one of the Bell 206 helicopters and maybe you have a crew member in the back, if they turn the camera on close to the same time you turn yours on, you can easily sync up the audio. But what happens if maybe they wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes into the trip? That makes audio recording very complicated. So if you are going to do anything where you're going to have multiple cameras recording inside the helicopter, I highly recommend turning them all on to record before you start the helicopter. Now, it doesn't matter if you have a clapboard that you can clap, or if you just clap your hands really loud. Either way, that'll give you the audio spike that you need to be able to do multicam audio syncing in post-production. Works great with Final Cut Pro, but DaVinci Resolve or anything else that you're using for your editing will do probably the same thing for multicam. So make sure that you start your recordings all at similar times and then clap really loudly. Now, one thing that I did know is if you are recording your audio to one of the GoPros like I am here, until you start the helicopter, the audio on that one will be mute. So, since you will not have audio to sync your multicam with that one, clap in front of that camera so you can visually see the clap. Trust me, after recording hundreds of hours in the Bell 206 on our trip, these are some of the tips that we learned. Unfortunately, we learned them towards the end. Now, the way I have this set up right now, I would never actually fly like this because I don't want a battery pack just sitting loose around there. I don't like anything up near my head that could fall off and hit me while I'm flying. I just kind of used, that was an easy place to mount it where I could also show you on the camera. Now, I'll show you that basically you can put this arm in any position that you want, and then you twist this knob here, and then you're able to lock it in position. So if that was the position that I wanted it set in, it is now locked and it's not going anywhere. And it stays pretty stout. This suction cup here, you just squeeze that a few times and it sticks directly to the glass. You pull back on here, it releases the suction. If you want to adjust again, this is hard to do while I'm holding the camera, you just twist this and then all the arms are completely flexible and can go in pretty much any position that you want. Now, while those suction cup mounts work very well in the 206 when we were flying, since this has you can kind of see it there, yeah. See how all the windows are bubbled out? That's nice for tours. because people can sit in the back, they can look out better. Unfortunately, you cannot put the suction cup directly onto this because it will not stick. Sometimes you can kind of get right into the corner inside. Of course, only from the inside. You wouldn't put this on the outside of the helicopter, but you could put it in there. I found that some spots, like right here on the inside, of course, you can put it and you can aim directly out, or you can aim back up at you. The other options, which I don't have any of the mounts with me, and I'll show you some when I get back to the studio, is there are some that will actually clamp onto this bar. So you could sit the camera here, and then you could have this angle looking out, or maybe looking down at the control. You could look wherever you want, aiming your GoPro pretty much anywhere.